Hello, hello. Hey, welcome to another Power Pack segment of the Proactive Protection Vodcast with Miss Lynette Hillian, independent advisor, and we are here for you. How you doing out there? Hey, Miss Lynette, how's everything going with you?
Everything's great. It's Wednesday.
It's
So
Wednesday.
2 more days and the weekend begins.
Awesome, awesome. Hey, well, you know what? Hey, as we keep going on, we're definitely going to be
Mhm.
be proactively protected by
Right.
whatever it is that may come our way. So, hey, excuse me. Hey, for you all who are just tuning in, make sure you go ahead and type in your comments and things like that. All right. So, Miss Lynette, we're going to turn it over to you. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great week. One of the topics I know I talked with several people about what is a guaranteed life insurance policy. I'm sure you've seen either you've read it on the internet or you have seen commercials, but what exactly does that mean when it says it's guaranteed? So there's a few things I wanted you to know about what guaranteed proactive protection is. And so what that is, it is a type of whole life proactive protection, which means it does accumulate cash value. It does. And so the guaranteed may be of benefit to those if they in the past have had difficulty actually getting approved or qualified for a proactive protection option. So, what it does is you do not have to complete any health questions, or you may not have to go, probably will not have to go undergo a some type of medical exam for that. And the medical exam, it may be in terms of collecting a blood sample in any type of labs or things of that nature. So you don't necessarily have to, you don't have to do that with a guaranteed life because it says guaranteed. Now, the other things you want to consider though, guaranteed, it's not something that everyone is able to obtain, being that it depends on your age. So there are some guaranteed life proactive protection options that are for those who are 40 and over. Some are if you're 50 or over. So it depends on the carrier or the insurer, which is the company who is offering the particular option. It depends on which company. So the other thing to consider is that there's a waiting period. So for example, with some other options, you once you're approved and qualified, you are pretty much covered from day one for the entire amount that you have. Majority of the time, that's how that is. Depending on what option you have, if it's whether it's term or whether it's a permanent, depending on the option. So a lot of this is generalized, so it doesn't mean all options are in this manner. However, that's why I say may, because it depends on which carrier, and it also depends on which option that you're approved for. But with the guaranteed, there's a waiting period of anywhere from 2 to 3 years. So if someone were to die within those before the waiting period is over, then the beneficiary would not receive the amount. So if let's say for example for a guaranteed option, you have one for $25,000. So if someone were to die within before that waiting period is over, then the only thing that the beneficiary would receive is the premiums and the interest. So unless there is maybe an accidental death in some cases. So with that being said, when you see guaranteed life, you may say, well, that will be the option for me. But there's several things you need to remember. One, that you will not, if someone were to die before that waiting period is over, then the beneficiary will not receive the total amount that was applied for because it's before the waiting period is over. That's one thing to remember. Two, it is, of course, is on your age, based on your age. If you're 40, or maybe some are 40, offered at 40, some carriers may offer it at 50. It depends on the carrier. So if you are younger than 40, and so that would not be, a guaranteed life would not be available to you until you're 40. Okay. If there's another that is saying it's 50 and you're not 50, then that is not an option for you until you're 50. Okay. So you want to keep those things in mind. I know that you see a lot of it in, as I said before, on the internet and maybe on television, radio, wherever you may be seeing this, and you see guaranteed life means, oh, guaranteed life. That means no matter is guaranteed for me. And that is true, except there is a waiting period. So keep that in mind as an option. Not saying it cannot be an option for you, but I believe you should know when you see guaranteed, what are the specifics that are involved with this particular option.
Man, I'm hearing a lot of obstacles and things like that off this guaranteed. Man, sorry I had to step away to get some water. So,
That's okay.
but man, okay. So I know before it's with the waiting period. So that's, I mean, I don't think that's much of a big deal in my opinion, but still,
No,
it's just,
yeah. But I mean,
yeah.
people who may have some medical conditions that for whatever reason they may not be, the other options may not be available to them. So this would be one that would be an option for them in terms of if they, of course, they meet the age requirement in that they have to be at least a certain age. Some are 40, some are 40, some could be 50. It just depends.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So, hey, guys, we are talking about, again, what is guaranteed life insurance. All right. We've been seeing a lot of these commercials on there. So, yes, we're here to learn what is it. All right. It sounds good, but, that's how commercials are, where they get you with the good stuff. And then then later on, you have to read the fine print. Like, oh, man, get you all hyped up. Like, oh, guarantee. Oh, yeah. But nothing's guaranteed in life, huh? But death and taxes, I guess. No. But yes.
Not the death taxes.
All right.
Yeah, that is guaranteed for sure.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, but this is where we can be proactively protected whenever that
Exactly.
fateful day does come. All right. But it's
Exactly.
not about that.
No, it's not. But I believe that you all should know because you are seeing these terms and just to know exactly what they mean. So when you meet with me or you have questions and well, Lynette, what is this? I don't, can you explain to me a little further? What is this? I don't understand. It says it's guaranteed, but it's saying that I have to wait, before my beneficiary could even receive the actual amount that I was approved for or applied for. So applied and approved for. So, and that it is guaranteed in the sense that you will receive the coverage, but it's just that there's a waiting period for that.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah.
Yes.
If y'all have any questions or comments or so, feel free to type it in there in the chat. And so Miss Lynette, she'll answer anything that you have. As I said, she's not trying to sell anything to you, just to give you information. And again, what is guaranteed life insurance? All right.
What is it?
Let's understand these terminologies.
Yeah. So I say proactive protection, but what you're seeing is guaranteed life insurance. That's what you're seeing. I call it proactive protection. That's what I call it. But when you're seeing the commercials and you're seeing on the internet, it says guaranteed life. So when I say guaranteed life or guaranteed life proactive protection is my word, my vocabulary word, again, because I want us to think beyond just it being about death. This one in
Right.
particular, maybe you may see this as an option because maybe you just want to maybe have the medical bills paid in terms of after your death or any of things of that nature. So the amount that you have for this may not be, whereas other policies, there may be, you could get it at higher value in terms of the amount. So these may be a little smaller. So they may be between, it could be between 2,000, 25,000. It really depends, as I said before, with the carrier. So they vary.
Hmm.
So
Yes. Wow. Yes. Proactive protection. That's what we're saying over here. All right. Yeah. What is guaranteed proactive protection? Okay. And yes, we're helping to educate you on this so that you don't be lost in the dark on here. And Miss Lynette's doing a great job on it. Yeah. Go ahead.
thank you. I try to make sure that you all are aware so that when you have these questions, or before you even sit down with an advisor, that before you sit down with an advisor, that you have some type of working knowledge about what exactly these terms mean. So the advisor can help you better meet your needs. So you know that if I get a guaranteed life, that yes, I don't have necessarily any medical conditions. However, that just say, well, that could possibly be an option, but then you may have other options as well. And that's why we're here to advise, to make sure that we're doing our best to help you meet your needs, the financial security that you need for you and those that are very dear to you. So just keep that in mind. Just, I know it's a lot of terms, but you should be aware when so you can make an informed decision. Hi, Mary. Good evening. So you want to make some great decisions, right? Isn't that important that we all have the most information we can get, accurate information, so we can make the best decision? That's what's important. That's what's important to me. This is why I do this, because I mean, I can think of a time is before I was even an advisor, and I have all this terminology and vocabulary coming at me, these terms coming at me. But what does that mean? What is permanent life? What is term life? What's the difference between the two? How are they different? Why is it that, I have permanent life, there's a cash value accumulation, or it can grow, versus a term. Why doesn't it grow? Or why can't I have a cash accumulation? Again, because a term is for a specific period of time versus permanent. Okay, I see that. Thank you, Miss Mary. And so you have the permanent, of course, with the building of cash value, versus the term, as I said before, which is a specific period of time. And that's important because some people just may want it for a specific period of time. It meets their needs. For example, I have a client that I'm going to talk with tomorrow, and in just having some conversations with him about, well, what is your needs? Even before we even sit down and go through the actual analysis, I want to have an understanding of what it is exactly. How can I help you? So that I can start the process of possible options based on my conversation, not solidifying anything, but actually having something to actually say, well, this is what, based on what you told me, well, the conversations we've had previously, this is what I've kind of lay it out for you. Not saying you have to take any of those options, as we just keep those in mind, once we get through the financial needs analysis. So financial needs analysis, we go through that. Then after we finish that, here's some possible options based on our previous conversations and us going through the financial needs analysis. And then he could just say, well, I thought about it based on us having this conversation, even though we've had these previous conversations. I'm not interested in the term. I would rather have a permanent option. So it's nothing is written in stone. It's just a matter of having those conversations about what your needs are, which is very, very important. So we make sure that your needs are met and those of your loved ones as well. So this is why I do all of this, because I try to navigate it through so that it's clear enough for you, so that when you are with an advisor, that you are able to ask those questions about specific information that maybe you may be interested in guaranteed life. You may be interested in a term.
Now, Lynette, I want to ask you: do you find it difficult with talking with some clients, that they may not know what their needs are, or they have to think really hard about their needs, or they're trying to get you to tell them what their needs are, or
Well,
interpret it? Hmm.
we'll interpret it. So that's
Yeah.
why this is like a what I consider a partnership between myself and my clients.
Hmm.
Because again, as I continue to say, you're entrusting me with your information, as well as your family's future, your future, and I take that seriously. So even if you don't know what you need, that's why we have the needs analysis, to figure out what you may already have, in order to
Hmm.
see, well, what other options, or what are the best options based on our conversation, based on your particular needs. So you don't necessarily have to come in knowing, because you may not, and you don't have to. So I don't do this to kind of say, okay, well, you need to, here they are before you choose one. That's not how that works. Again, it depends on our conversation that we've had and what your needs are. So you may not know, you may not have any idea, but that's why it's important for us to communicate and talk and speak, transparently, about what your needs are.
Interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Okay, all right. Yeah, well, I mean, it's definitely, I want to say mind-boggling, but it's just when it comes to that, folks needing
Yeah, it's a
proactive
lot.
protection. Yeah, yeah. Wow,
It's
wow.
it's it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of information, and but I believe it's important that you know, so that you're able to ask those questions, or even after you view this and you have questions, feel free. The QR code is there. My phone number is there. And you can give me a call. Even if it's you just have a question, that's fine.
Yeah. Hey.
How else are you going to know? Knowledge is power. And so once you
Mhm.
know, then you can make an informed decision as well.
That's it. Yeah, most definitely. But again,
Mhm.
you heard what she said. Go ahead, scan the QR code for more information, or give her a call. All right, there's the number right there, because again, she's just here to help, not selling you anything. And we need to understand a lot of these terminologies that we see on on
Mhm.
television in all forms, or here on media and things like that. So
Mhm.
yeah, knowledge is power, like she said.
It's power. And the other thing is, I had a friend of mine, and he's actually an actual independent advisor as well. And his whole premise for actually becoming an advisor was the experience his father had. So his father was thinking that he was, in terms of the insurance that the father had purchased, was going to be significant, sufficient for his family, once his death occurred, and it wasn't. So, not saying that that's the fault of anyone, but I don't want that to be any of you. So that's why I say it's important that you know as much as possible. Now, things do change. So I may say this today, and depending on where you live, your age, the actual insurer or carrier, things evolve all the time. But at this moment, in terms of the guaranteed, that's the information that you need to know. And it's, again, I said, it's based on your age. It can be based on where you live as well. Because if you look at some of the commercials, or if you look at on the internet, it says, sometimes it'll say, Um, it's available in all these states except. So you may have that too, depending on what state you reside, may also determine options as well. So that's why it's great to have a plethora of options based on what your needs are. So no one has any questions. I'm sure you all have seen this guaranteed life insurance, and it's come up before. I'm sure it has, because I see them, and I see, and I'm always reading and reading information on the internet, actually seeing some of the commercials, and just knowing what it is you're actually, what actually am I receiving for this guaranteed? So that's important that you know exactly what that means.
Now, do you think you can reiterate one more time? Again, what is guaranteed life insurance, or what is guaranteed proactive protection?
that would be my term, right?
Right.
Guaranteed proactive
right.
protection. So, guaranteed life insurance is what the term that you see. Guaranteed like proactive protection, that is my term, but it's the same. And that is a type of whole life insurance that is guaranteed. However, what happens those first 2 to 3 years is a waiting period. So if someone, the insured, dies within those, it could be 2 to 3 years, depending on the carrier, about what the waiting period is, then the beneficiary, or the person that they said, well, once I die, this is who would receive the benefits of the particular policy. What happens is that the beneficiary will not receive the total amount for the policy unless in cases of accidental death. And so accidents could be defined differently by different carriers. But if the person were to die and it was not due to an accident, for example, then they would just get the paid premiums and any interest. So if they were to die after the waiting period, then the entire policy would be received by the beneficiary at the time of the person's death, as long as there weren't any loans. See, loans and anytime you get a loan out of your the cash accumulation, then that's of course going to decrease the amount that your beneficiary gets. But if you don't have any loans, as it grows as a policy, because it is a whole life and it does accumulate cash, but then the beneficiary would receive the entire amount if there were no loans that were taken out from the cash accumulation.
Wow, that makes sense. It's all in the wording detail, all right? Again, accidental, so not the other way around. And I think I heard that from someone else that was talking about it, another advisor at school, and so they were.
What did they say?
What he mentioned about for us with the accidental, just people try to claim on someone else's demise, that it, when it's all investigated, that it wasn't accidental, so it was something else, and so they can't get the full amount. No. Pretty much.
No. Yeah. No, and that's the other thing. People. That's why I tell people. I said, listen, when it comes to this it's already sensitive enough. People don't want to talk about. They don't want to talk about death. They don't want to talk about that. At all. So when you make these choices about what options, the ones you qualify for, there are, and we go through that with you in terms of what is it that you need to know. All the vocabulary, all the terms are there. Also, there are also some guidelines or some requirements. So we have to be cognizant of all of that. And oftentimes there are time periods as well. So, for example, with a guaranteed life option, some are 2, some are 3 years, or they're in between there, 2 and 3 years of a waiting period. So it's not immediate as it may be with other options. It may be immediate after you are found, you're approved and you qualify for a particular policy, that immediately you are covered, in terms of paying your initial premium and your premium therefore after that. But this one is different. It's different. It's also that those who may have difficulty finding coverage or being approved for coverage. So it is an option for those, as long as you're, at least that particular age for what is being offered by the carrier. So it's not like someone who's in their 20s. If it's not one of the age requirements, if you don't meet that, then you're not eligible for it.
Right. Right. Wow. Yes. Hey, again, knowledge is power, that she alluded to earlier on. And again, there's a lot of terms that'll definitely be thrown at us.
Yes, they are.
And we're thinking one thing, but that's not necessarily the case. That's just to hook you in. That's how marketing works, or so deceptive it could be. Yeah.
Okay. So I just want you to be informed about and ask questions so that you're clear and that you understand exactly what it is. If I'm approved for a particular policy, so what does that mean? What does that mean? Is there, with this, there is a waiting period. Okay. With some others, ask the question. With Guarantee Life, there is a waiting period for it. That is off the bat, because, in terms of, you don't have to complete necessarily any medical exam, and you don't have to answer any health questions. So with other options, you would have health questions you have to complete, and possibly a medical exam, depending on the actual proactive protection option and or your age.
Yeah, sorry, you just on mute there.
I was on mute?
No, I was. No, I
was like,
what? Oh no, I hope not. No.
I was like, wait a minute, I didn't touch anything.
Yeah, all that information there you giving. No, we definitely can't have you on mute.
Please don't.
Absolutely. Hey guys, again, go ahead and scan the QR code if you want more information. All right. Again, Miss Lynette, she'll get right back with you. All right, you can scan that, or you can simply just give her a call. There's a number right there for you. And as I say, it's all about getting knowledge and information. Don't worry, she's not going to sell you anything. All right, she's not selling you anything. All right, just giving you information. So hopefully something that you can take with you and talk with her. If you want more information, hey, she's right there. Go ahead and give her a call, or just scan the QR code there, or so as you see on the screen. Yeah, it's interesting because I thought about my insurance policies and things like that, and so I'm gonna take a look at that, because the lady who services us at the school, she was talking about that, and so I automatically thought about you, so like, yes, yeah, so
see,
yeah, so
definitely, yeah.
Yep.
So you were more informed when you sit down and talk with your advisor, you were more informed about what these different options are.
Yes. It said a lot of the things that you were saying. I'm just like, okay, all right. And we did take a look at some of the things, and it's like, okay, yeah, I didn't realize I had this, and because she was trying to get me to get some other stuff, with it, but it's like, hey, well, it's all according to my needs, and
exactly. Exactly. It's all based on what your needs are, and just keep that in mind. And
right.
we may advise you on something that, of course, we're gonna put your interest first. Always, it's your interest. What is it that you need?
Definitely, and yeah. So like I said, I appreciate that. That's why I appreciate this show, and just again, guys, it's definitely helping me. And for those who are tuning in or so, hey, again, give her a call. She's right there. All right, and it's just all about being knowledgeable about when people present things to you. Okay, so, but yeah, man, we got one more minute. Any last words that you want to say?
Just continue to watch the podcast, pick up the nuggets that you can that are of interest to you. If you know others that could benefit from it, please let them know that we're here every week, and I do take questions, and I'm live. So if you ask me a question, then more than likely I'm able to answer it right there for
Yeah.
you.
Yes, every week, every Wednesday, right here at 5:30. All right,
Mhm,
5:30 p.m. And
mhm,
again, if you may need to go over a little bit more, if you have any questions or so, hey, we have no problems doing that because we want you all to be informed, and you can
mhm,
watch the rebroadcast on YouTube as well. And
mhm,
yes, the protection podcast, and yes, with Miss Lynette Hillian, and make sure you just get in
mhm,
contact with her.
mhm.
All right.
Definitely.
All right. Well, look, you all have a great day, a great week out there, and spread the word. And we'll see you again for another powerful broadcast of the Proactive Protection podcast with Miss
Protection is
Lynette Hillian.
important.
Yes. We all want to be protected, right? Yes. All
Exactly.
right. We'll see you. Thank you so much.
Okay.